Hi, and thanks so much for joining me. It's Patty from pspapercrafts. It's another Friday, so we'll do a fun fold today. We are going to make a gatefold pop-up card. I've heard it called a pop-up gatefold card, so there's lots of different names for things. I'm not sure who actually comes up with the names. But anyway, this is the card. It looks like kind of a W fold here, like this, right? But it sits nicely. This is the front. It's a birthday card. And then this is the back of it. You don't have to decorate the back with designer series paper or pattern paper if you don't want to, but I think it finishes it off nicely. So it will fold, let me just do this right. So it will fold like this to go in the envelope. And I have these going this way because I've got these little, so you could do it either way, but I feel like they'll crash into that. So it does fit into our medium-sized envelopes. And for this card, I used this carried over and it was on back order for a long time. This is the Winter Meadow 12 by 12 designer series paper. It carried over from last year's either regular catalog or Christmas catalog, and it's pretty. I love the blueberry bushel on some of the patterns, but I thought I would use these. I don't know if they're cranberries or what they are, but I think it's really pretty paper. And then I use the Unbounded Love for the sentiment, and I use the dies that go along with this, the Unbounded Love dies. These are great for the label. And then there's some dies in here to cut the greenery, and I just flicked some Moody Mauve ink, that's what this color is, on the front and the back panel, just to kind of take away from the bright whiteness. So I thought this was really pretty. I'm using Pretty Peacock, and this is the other side of this paper. So you'll see I've die cut from it. So I use both sides of the same paper. So this is the card I made as a sample, and we are going to use, of course, completely different products. I'm going to make it using some of the online exclusive products. Now, the online exclusives, they're online. They're not in the catalog. So, you know, you can shop by online exclusives to see what's in there. And they just came out with a whole bunch. Nice kind of Christmas. So I love this paper. It just really is so beautiful. So this is, let's see, I don't know all the names. The Season of Green and Gold. I believe the whole suite is called the Season of Green and Gold suite. And one side of the papers has gold, and then the other side is kind of plain. So we're going to use this and this today on our card. And then we're going to do some die cutting from this. So it's really, this is the paper. I think that's all of it. Oh, and isn't that nice? I love a gingham kind of look. So that's the paper we're using. And in the suite, you could buy the suite as one big thing, or you can just purchase bundles or stamp sets or the paper, whatever you want. But these two go with the suite, and some of these will actually cut out the bell, the single bell, and the smaller single bell, and then there's some that will cut out some of this greenery. So we're going to do that, and I'll show you how I do that. So that is, let's get this out of here. That's for later. And then we have the Greetings of the Season. I'm going to use this. I'm looking for the dies that go with it. Nope, that's the wrong ones. Let me get them. Okay, they were right next to me, but they were under the card pieces. So I am going to use this circle. So there's all these dies. They're kind of like tag dies. I'm going to use this oval, I'll say, and then these sentiments. So just follow along. The other thing is I will have a project sheet with all the instructions, and I'm going to show you kind of, and I'll have this in the project sheet as well. There's a lot of cuts and folds here. So the dotted lines are score lines, and the solid lines are cut lines. And this is 5.5 by 8. And again, all the measurements will be in a project sheet that you can download and print out, and this picture will be in there just to help you. So I have the numbers for this way, going this way, and then the numbers for up here. So you'll see it's a little complicated. So I have all my pieces cut, and there's a lot of pieces, and if you don't want to decorate the back, you can use only half of the amount of pieces. So this is Old Olive, and I said it's 8 by 5.5, and we are going to get our trimmer out, and we are going to kind of follow this guideline. Okay, let me make sure I'm in here good. And I'm going to put this up for now, and we're going to do some scoring. So you're going to put your 8-inch across here, and we are going to, let me turn this around, score at 2, 4, and 6 from top to bottom. So we're going to go out to 2, and we're going to score it, and then we're going to go to 4 and score it, and then 6. 6 is all the way up to the edge before you take the arm out. Okay, and by the way, I did take this arm out, in case you're not familiar with this, to cut it at 8. I mean, you could just cut off a half, or you can go out to 8. So this is nice that you can get past the 6-inch with this trimmer. So then we are going to turn it this way, and we're going to cut. We're going to go in from the top at 1 1/4. So I wasn't sure how to work this. So we're going into 1 1/4, but we're going to cut from the 2 to 6. And then we're going to go all the way down to 4 1/4, and we're going to cut from the 2 to the 6. And let me show you a little trick to help with this if you're using this trimmer. Some people put a piece of white tape over here, but I just like to put this down. So we'll just put it down, and now you can see, you have to put it, you don't want it to interfere with this, but if you put it out a little bit, now you can see the numbers over here. Okay, so if you have some kind of, you know, you could tape white paper, I guess, or if you have white tape, you can tape it right along there, but I just whip this out when I need to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into 1 1/4. So let me just go 1 1/4. Now I'm going to put this down. Oops, don't move it. 1 1/4. And we're going to cut. I mean, you don't need this, but it just helps it with the making sure that you're cutting right from the 2 down to the 6. So I can see those marks. Okay, and then we're going to move it over to 4 1/4. So 4 1/4. We're going to do the same thing. It's kind of funny. I don't know who comes up with these things, but I'll tell you, they're amazing. And then we're going to go from the 2 to the 6. So I'm going to go back up from the 6 to the 2. Okay, so now we have our cutting done. I'm going to move that out of the way. And now we're going to score it at 3 and 5, but just from the cut marks. Okay, so let's turn it this way, and we're going to go 3. So we're going to go out 3 inches, and we're going to score between the cut marks. So actually I don't need this for this part. So we're going to score right between, and I feel like this isn't in. Okay, it is. If it's not in right, there you can, there's a little groove at the bottom that you can use. I feel like it's not going in. It is. Okay. I feel like we're not down or something. Okay, and then we're going to move it to the 5-inch mark and do the same thing. So 5 inches. And we're going to go from this cut line down to this cut line. And excuse my head and my hair if it's in the way. Okay, so now we have all our scoring and our cutting done. So let's put this away. And let's put this away. And again, I don't know, many times I don't know who invented this or designed it. I find different people and I watch different videos and I try to come up with what I think is the easiest way, easiest for me. So we're going to fold this. I'm going to just fold it this way and then up and get my bone folder. We're not going to fold this line here in the middle. So let's just kind of get things folded. I like to fold it the way I scored it and then fold it the way it's supposed to be. Okay, and then we're going to just fold this and this, but not the middle one. Okay, and then these are going to fold up. So let's see if we can burnish these, and then I'm going to try to burnish those. And the reason that we're not folding this in the middle is because we're going to cover it. So I guess whoever designed it, it was easier to just score all the way through it, and it doesn't matter because it's getting covered. Okay, now we can do these. Okay, so now we have our card base. Isn't that cool? And all we have to do is decorate. So I have these pieces to go here and here and on both sides. So we're just going to glue these down. And then these 4 pieces will go along the top. So I may actually speed this up to get it so you're not watching the paint dry kind of thing. So my adhesive of choice is liquid glue. If you ever watch my videos, you'll know that. So I'm just going to put all of these down, just put a little glue around them. And then we want to make sure that it's got this little border. It's a very small border, but we want it even all around. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing here, and then the 4 pieces, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the rest. So I will speed it up. Okay, so here's my last one. Just put it right down here. Okay. There we go. So we have our piece. I think it's really pretty with the old olive. And then there's going to be some old olive greenery that we're going to use. So now I have some pieces that will cover the front and the back. This is actually, I think I'm going to change it. This is actually very vanilla, and I have the white, and it looks so stark. So let me just step away and make these very vanilla. Okay, so I'm back. So I just cut 2 more pieces. I think this looks better than this. I think that's too stark, the white. So what I thought we would do is for the label, let's move those away. I'm going to do joy, love and joy, and I kind of want the label, and I did this on another card, kind of like this. So I'm going to use cherry cobbler. You thought I would use old olive, didn't you? And we're just going to put it like this. Okay. And then I thought we could cut some greenery, just so it's like a tag, you know, hanging. And I thought we would cut some of this greenery here. So what I do, and I wanted to just show you the bells and stuff, I like to just cut my paper so that I only kind of get the pieces I want. So I'm going to cut it. And I want this one as well. This way I'm not cutting it with my cutter, and then I can't use this again if I wanted to. And I don't know, you know, these are kind of big. It might be too big for what I'm doing, but I can always cut them down. And this is pretty, and I might use it as a whole, you know, whole layer, but probably not, because I feel like these pieces are kind of spread out. Okay. Let's see. So the other side, I probably would use the other side. So let me get my machine out and put all of this out of the way. And I'm not sure I'll do all of them together because they're kind of close to each other. So what I like to do is, let's get the dies out. So I think this one will work on here. And then we have this one, and then this one. Okay, so let's, I think I'll do these two together, and then these are too close to each other. So what I like to do is just line up the die right over. And then this I got on Amazon. I think it was Post-it tape, but I don't think they sell it anymore. But there's other brands. If you look for Post-it tape, you'll see this. And it just holds it in place, because I tend to have things shift on me. Let me just get this right. And it's amazing, these dies just go right over exactly the edge. There used to be more of a gap. And I think when you cut it, there's usually a little bit of white around it, but it's much tighter than it used to be. And I hope I didn't cut this too close. We'll see. And again, we'll see how big they are. They might be too big. We might have to cut them down. But if you're hiding it behind a label, that's okay. So we'll just take this out. And we have this. Now you could stamp or just cut. I think there's some other greenery pieces. Are there? Yeah, see. So this one has 2 sleeves, so you can cut these big, but I thought they were too big. So you could cut this like in gold or old olive or whatever you're doing. So it's nice. But I wanted to get the gold and the green to coordinate. So let's take this off. And I'll reuse these. We need one more though. And let's put this down. And put this right over it. These are so pretty. This is my style, these leaves. I love this. We used to have a stamp set like it. Well, I guess this has the stamp that I just loved. Okay. Make sure you're in. And then we'll play with it and see what we like. So let's move this. Take this off. Whoops. And this would be pretty too. Sometimes it's nice to use designer series paper to cut out leaves. So let's see how this is going to look. Let's put this down first, this white piece, so it doesn't shift on me while I'm playing. And then we'll go and figure out what we're going to do. So you just want a little bit of a border around it. Okay. Then we're going to put this here, and I'll put some twine or something. And then we don't want this to go up here. So it's really got to come. It can hang over the sides, but it can't really hang over the top. So this might be too much. I think I'm going to just cut off the bottom a little bit. Hate to do that, but nobody will know, right? And what about this one? What about this one? Yeah, so I'm going to just cut it so that there's not so much bulk underneath it. I feel like it's too much. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put this down with some dimensionals, but I'm only going to put the dimensionals close inside so that I can get these things underneath it. That's the first step. I'm hoping this works. I'm hoping it folds okay. I'm thinking I could have a problem here. So let's get this straight. We want this like this. And then we're going to put a little glue down here and just kind of put it underneath, making sure it's not above that. And then we'll do the same with this. That's going to be too tight. I'm going to cut it down even more. And I know I got glue on it, but I'll probably have glue on my scissors now. I'll have to clean them. Okay, just cut it a little bit more. So don't be afraid. I hate to use cut all this pretty paper, but don't be afraid to cut it. And I think I'm going to even try to squeeze this guy in as well. Okay, let's cut him a little bit more. There's this like little sharp edge here. All right, I think we've got it done. Now let's hope it closes. Otherwise, I'm going to be pulling it all out. So you could close it like this or like this. So I think we're good. All right. Phew. Wasn't sure how that was going to work. Okay, so we want to put a little ribbon on it. A little, the ribbon that comes with this, let me get it to show you. It's beautiful, but it's way too big for this card. It's a very vanilla, and it's a satin ribbon. I think I might use that for gift wrapping. So let's just take a 1 strand, maybe 2 strands. Let's do 2 strands. And I like to just fold it in half, cut it. Always do way too much, but I like to have it in my fingers so that I can work with it. If it's too short, I can't tie. Okay, and we'll just trim off. See how much I have? Way too much. And let's put that down with a glue dot. I have to see if I have more glue dots because I'm running low. And I just put that right back there. and put it right on here. You could feed it through if you wanted to. And then I thought I would do, well, let's do the back. So the back, I thought, where did I put it? I thought I would just do a Merry Christmas. And I'm also doing that. And I'll show you why I'm using the cherry cobbler in a minute. So in this stamp set, there's quite a few different, you could do Merry Christmas, but this was way too long for this. So I'm going to do Merry Christmas here. So, you know, and Happy New Year, you can do a lot. This is really nice. I like that and this, but not for this card. So there's a season's greetings, there's happy holidays, you know, Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. So there's a lot of different sentiments you can play with. So let's do Merry Christmas, and I like to start with the bottom, or the longer word first. Christmas, and then Merry. Okay, and then we'll just put this on the back. You can write your little note on it if you would like to. And we're just about done. I just want to put some bling on it. And I'm going to use cherry cobbler on that, and that comes with the suite, so that's why I decided to use it. So see, you can write, you know, to whoever, love whoever. And then this is the part of the suite. It comes in, it's really cute because you can use it like for a wreath for berries, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Let me get my take your pick tool, and we're just going to, I think I'll put one right here. Okay, did I just ruin it? That's the part I just struggle with. So here we go. We have love and joy, and when you're folding it, you can do it this way or this way, or have them both the same. So there's choices. So that's this card, and that will fit in your envelope. And then here's this card. So we're going to do it this way. I think they're really cool. I love doing these fun folds. I'm learning a lot. I never used to do fun folds, so this is a new thing for me. And every Friday we do a fun fold. And let me get my calendar. So I have an inspiration calendar if you don't know me, or you know you're new here. And every Friday I make one of these. So last week we made the puzzle slider card, the gatefold pop-up card. We're going to make some stack, shuffle, and cut cards. These will be very easy, and you get, I think, 3 cards for the price of one, or with one set of paper. So I do color combos, I do card sketches. I don't do everything, but if you follow me on my blog, pspapercrafts.com, you can see, you know, the things that I do make. I send this to my email subscribers, so if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, and you will get this each month, and you'll get a weekly roundup with the cards I made for some of it. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you join me each Friday. All right, you have a good week. Thanks.